that? Books. Doesn't matter. It's just whatever was taken over. So Dording, I feel, will be like watching too many reviews of TikTok videos.
Reviews of TikTok videos?
Yes.
You watch an 8.5 minute review.
Of a 30-second... I don't know how long TikToks are.
I don't know how long TikToks are either. I was afraid to ask.
Steve, do you know how long TikToks are?
I don't know. I only know how to floss.
Did you really learn how to floss?
No.
It's all that Dording, man.
I won't stop the way that I keep to deliver.
SJ,
I'ma make these haters reconsider.
BBC.
I kick back,
Oh
stay
yeah.
high up for life.
Oh yeah.
And I won't stop.
I won't stop, I can't stop, even if I try. I won't stop, I can't stop, even if I try. I won't stop, I can't stop, even if I try. Even if I try.
And welcome to Y'all Boys Talkin', a podcast about nonsensical improvement where each week we not only talk about bettering ourselves, but how we can help you better yourself by hearing us better ourselves. I'm Frank Hernandez.
I'm Maximo Santana.
And I'm Steve Della Valentina.
Our fourth co-host, Joshua Jean-Baptiste, is transposing the greatest written testament in history, and our schedules kind of didn't work out, but he will be checking in with us a bit later. But the four of us have developed a philosophy called STTT, straight to the top. Now, Max, if I came up with a good metaphor of what STTT was, and you knew what it was, what was it?
Ooh, this is a riddle? I know this one. Okay. STTT is like putting together a good lasagna.
Okay.
And ooh, baby, you're going to need multiple layers. All right. Number one, you're going to need some good lasagna noodles. All right. The bedrock, the foundation of it all. All right. And that's called having a goal. That's called knowing what you want to do with your life. That's where it begins. Then you want to build off of that with some good, ground beef. All right. Those are the obstacles of your life, the things that get in your way, the things that you're just going to have to bite through to get to where you want to go.
Uh-huh.
You need that, it's part of the whole situation.
Of course.
But then you need a bunch of cheese. Everyone loves cheese. You can have whatever cheese you want. Ricotta cheese, cheddar cheese, goat cheese, skim cheese. Those are the things you use to reward yourself, to make life all worth it. The things you like, the things you give yourself on a good day when you're doing everything that you need to be doing. And then, last but not least, you got the sauce.
Sauce.
And you got to have the sauce.
You know what I need, boss.
The sauce. And the sauce is all the people in your life that support you, your system that gets you up and running and picks it up when you are down. That's the sauce. You put it all together. You bake it at 425 degrees for 45 to 60 minutes. You pop it out, and baby, your dreams are going to come true with this casserole of life. That's STTT, straight to the top.
Max, I have a bit of umbrage where you called ground beef obstacles.
It's not my favorite meat,
Like, so you're saying you go into a lasagna, you're like, oh, all these obstacles are in my
ground
way.
beef, duh.
Maybe Max is including the vegetarian perspective.
There you go. Diversity, Frank.
Damn.
Inclusivity.
Yeah.
You right. Speaking of food, this is our first post-Thanksgiving recording.
Yep.
And actually, all three of us happen to have Thanksgiving together.
Who would have thought?
Oh, what a coinky dink.
What a coinkydink.
How did that happen?
Just kind of ended up in Los Angeles.
Moseyed on over. Yeah.
Yeah.
Met a couple dope people from high school. It was
just a few. I think literally there was 16, 18 people at our Thanksgiving event, and maybe 2 of them did not go to high school with us. 2 or 3 maybe, yeah. And which is interesting given that we had Thanksgiving in Los Angeles and we went to high school in Miami. So crazy how that all works out.
The Great Migration.
Great Migration. And, rumor has it there might be some more. But, we'll talk about that later on in the future. But for now, let's get to our first segment of the week, STTT of the week. Cue sound.
STTT of the week.
STTT of the week is where we talk about a story, person, place, or thing that inspires us to get to the top. And this week, I'd like to give a really special shout out and some flowers to our retail workers.
Oh, yeah.
So Black Friday just occurred in our world, and the holiday season is in full effect. So people are out there in the malls, in the
Shopping centers of America.
Shopping centers, shopping strips,
Restaurants.
They're out there trying to purchase everything that they need or to get the thing that they're looking for their tour. If you remember the documentary Jingle All the Way featuring Arnold Schwarzenegger, things get hectic. But I would like to say that I'm # blessed and fortunate for never actually having to be a retail worker. Not for my lack of trying. I tried to work at a couple places and it just kind of didn't work out. But two people very close to me have worked retail, and they've worked a lot of retail. And the horror stories from them alone, gives me so much respect for the amount of work that they put in. Particularly my best friend actually recently told me the story where he had to work 3 8-hour shifts in a row. One at one store, then he went to the other part of the mall to work at another store, and then he came back to the first store to work at another 8 hours from Thanksgiving to all of Black Friday. And, as far as like giving respect goes, it's our servicemen, it's our teachers, and shout out to our retail workers.
Absolutely. I remember going Black Friday shopping one day. And it was me, it was Josh. And Josh's roommate Edson was there too. He's a Black Friday beast. This man is a professional. All
Really?
right. We went to Urban Outfitters, and they opened at 4 or 5 a.m. And we were there before they opened, and we're pressed up against the gate, right?
Ugh.
Haven't even opened it yet, but we got people giving us pressure behind us, right? So the moment hits, they open the gate, and before the gate even gets a foot off the ground, people are crouching to enter the store absolutely first. All right. Black Friday, Urban Outfitters used to do. I really hope they don't do it anymore. But they would do 50% off clearance, which at Urban Outfitters for these millennials, for these sad boys, it was just too good of a deal to pass up. All right. So we would go there, and you would see people. What you would do is you would grip everything off the shelf first.
What?
And then once it was on your in your hands, you would then look for things you like. Once you had all the products in your hands, that's how good the deals were. Like, you had to grip the whole shelf and then just toss things if they just didn't interest you. And that was just the most efficient way to do it. And everybody was doing it. And it would just make a mess of literally just pants, shirts, jeans on the ground as people were just like, I don't like it. I don't like it. I don't like it. Ooh. And they would pick one up. Right. And yeah, I admit I have created messes for employees on Black Friday. I used to be all about my Black Friday. But try not to be about that life anymore. The online stuff is a little bit better, but even then, that's still problematic in a lot of ways. So, hey, do what you can, guys, and make sure you're not creating havoc for retail employees, not just on Black Friday, but, anytime throughout the year. They got to do some crazy stuff. So, shout out to them.
Steve, have you ever dealt with any actual Black Friday madness, or have you avoided it the whole time?
I mean, I've been increasingly avoiding it over the past years as I've just been realizing how much of the clothes that I buy that I never wear, how much people tend to overspend on things in general that they don't need. And I, can't say I've been perfect either, in that I remember a time being up super, super early, or I guess late, depending on how you want to look at the day, where I think I was also with Josh and Max and Urban Outfitters. But
many years we did this, yeah.
Yeah, but I think we were more rookies back then. Mm-hmm. But I vividly remember just looking through this whole set of chaos and seeing all these like nice garments. And I think, I don't know if it was this night specifically, but I remember eventually coming back out or when this was before me and Max lived together. When we did live together, we had at least 3 articles of clothing that were exactly the same.
Yeah, and
that I remember buying on Black Friday.
Yeah. That was the only time we shopped together when we were in college, of course.
Yeah.
And we would come back to Miami and go Black Friday shopping. And then, and we never like coordinated it. We'd always like walk outside and be like, oh, I got these pants too.
Yeah, and yet somehow we never once accidentally wore the same clothes.
Yeah, because for a while, me and Steve were the same size too.
Yeah.
Oh my God.
Yeah. And then, it could have easily got mixed up with the wash or anything, but hey. Or Steve, let's not even pretend. We wouldn't even know. Like, how would we?
No?
Y'all probably swapped shirts like 17 times.
Yeah.
No, probably, but like the fact that we never was like, we wore the same blue plaid shirt at the same time. The fact that never happened, that's kind of interesting.
Yeah, in the same outfit multiple times. I'm glad we did not go to the same place wearing the same thing all the time.
Yeah.
So hopefully we've all learned this lesson on consumerism. Shout out to the retail workers for putting up with all the clothes that end up on the floor and
the
you
ceiling,
fold back immediately for other people to throw on the floor and whatnot. So thank y'all for that. On that note, we'll be taking a quick little break for our main event. Don't go anywhere. We will be right back.
This summer.
Ma'am, are you ready to check out?
Yeah, let me just... Oh no!
She thought she had her bags.
Ma'am, I said, are you ready to check out?
I left my bags!
Hey, just get the plastic bag.
We have got to go back to the car.
This summer, you will witness a story that'll rock your recycling bin.
There is no time.
The Reusables Part 1. Don't forget your bag.
And we are back. Now let's get ready for the main event of this bad boy, the challenge checkup. Cue sound.
Challenge checkup!
Oh, so long ago, I came up with a grandiose, brilliant idea that has yet to be matched by anyone in all of humanity. This idea was to challenge my friends to be a better version of themselves and also accept some challenges from them to be a better me. Last season, you heard us take on a bunch of challenges, and this season, it's a little different. We have a community challenge to make our community a better place. We have a personal challenge that we've given ourselves to improve our own givings. And we have a friendship challenge that we each have decided upon and given each other to improve the quality of our lives. But there's a catch.
We have to complete all of these challenges by March 1st, 2020, which I'm going to pause here real quick. That's going to be in that's about 3 months from now, guys.
Golden.
That's about 3 months from now.
I'm good.
Yeah, and if we don't complete these challenges by 3 months from now, we will each be receiving one of 4 punishments, which include 1 week without any recreational internet, 2 weeks with no entertainment whatsoever, 3 weeks with just eating one type of meal for breakfast, lunch, and dinner. And finally, because we love our facial hair so much, one of us will have to shave their face for an entire month, which will be known as the baby face punishment. But if we complete all of these challenges, we will each be receiving a Y'all Boys Talkin' Championship belt, which will be ranked from a dope-ass belt from the more effort that we put into a not so dope belt for the least effort we put in. But we must all complete these challenges on our way to the top. Ha 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 ha. All right, so let's give the old Josh boy a quick second here to hear what he's been up to this week.
So I'll first start off with my challenges. My community challenge is to get speed bumps installed in my neighborhood. My personal challenge is to write a one-person show and perform it. And my friend challenge is to remain sober for 90 days, 60 of them being consecutive. So I'll start off with my community challenge. I completed it, so, fireworks for me. Aha. My personal challenge this week, I am going to give myself a C. I brought myself out of conceptual work by starting on the script. But this week in particular, I didn't necessarily write everything down. What I did do, though, while I was in my car, I was sounding off monologues and making characters, and I recorded them for me to transcribe. So there's that. So I will give myself a C because I did that maybe once or twice this week. And I was in the process of moving, so now I'm a bit more settled. I feel like I can find a more stable routine. But yes, it's my new format of recording and typing. So there's that. As far as my friend challenge goes, I'm going to give myself also a C because this week I actually was sober for 3 days, 3 out of 7. And yeah, I did end up doing some partying over the week, and primarily due to Thanksgiving and whatnot, I kind of let myself go a little bit, but I gave myself 3 days out of 7, which I'm probably sure you guys will want to correct to a D, but I'm giving myself a C. Feel free to, I hope you honor that. Yes. You know what? No, I'll give myself a D. 3 out of 7 is not. Yeah, no, I'll give myself a D, to be fair. Anyway, those are my challenges, my challenge checkup. I'm fully aware of what I need to do next week, especially because I got the system with recording, and next week's going to be a little difficult because it's Art Basel, so the partying will be abundant. However, I will remain diligent to keep that going. I hope you guys had a happy recording, and listeners, thank you for being you. I'll talk to you later.
All right. Wow.
Whoa. Not what I was expecting at all.
How disappointing.
Steve, that was not only disappointing, but it was also encouraging.
Yeah. It was disappointing how encouraging it was.
Just a wave of emotions that I felt from hearing all of those. But more waves that I want to hear from is from Mr. Steve Della Valentina. Ooh. Steve, how was your week, dog?
Oh boy, did I have a week of challenges. Emphasis on week. It's a pun here. WEAK. That is the word I'm trying to describe of my challenges and my progress. So my 3 challenges. My personal challenge is to work on and release a video game. My community challenge is to teach digital literacy to the elderly community of San Francisco. And my friend challenge is to run for and train a 5K. So, it was Thanksgiving, and I was just being thankful.
I don't like how this is starting with excuses already.
I was in LA, and there was smog and rain.
Okay.
Got it. So the whole week was canceled. Everybody went home.
Everyone just stopped.
I mean, pretty much, just...
I was in LA. I saw people running.
I didn't see a single person running. Everyone was in cars. No one was outside.
All right.
Steve, you could have gone on a Peloton bike.
No, I can't even spell Peloton.
Okay, so what did you do, Steve?
What happened?
I did, I didn't realize a whole week had passed until right now.
Cool.
So
let's break it down one by one.
Yeah, I mean, we could break it down or we could sum it up. Either way, if you add 0 times 3.
Oh.
Or if you cube it,
Yeah.
Or
Add, subtract.
however way you want to add it up.
Yeah.
3 zeros is still 0.
Steve.
Hey, if I don't know if this has happened yet, in this in the now 15 weeks of the challenges, but if there's any time for y'all boys first, I think I just hit a 3-peat.
Damn. Yeah, I don't know if anyone's ever gotten 3Fs. Well, Max, you actually have the grades available.
Yeah. No one that has actually showed up and tried has on purpose gotten 3Fs.
Well, I will say I didn't do it on purpose, and I definitely wouldn't say I tried, but I definitely would say I'm showing up right now.
Hey, man.
That's
I'm
the new
owning
part
it.
right there. All right. Well, Steve, we got a lot of time.
Do we though?
we are straight up halfway through.
Yeah.
Let's talk about it.
We.
Yeah. You know, I do want to give you a big ups because you had a pre-recorded part last week where you mentioned you did sign up for the 5K.
Yeah.
That
And I
sounds like
ran that
progress.
week thanks to the Frank Hernandez trademark reminder system.
Hey,
I remember that being a productive week for running.
Mm-hmm.
Awesome. That's dope as hell. And also shout out to Sakura.
Yeah.
Who's also out there doing stuff. Yo, shout out to Sakura who's out there, you know, keeping us updated with her challenges. So, you know, if any of y'all are interested in like doing your own challenges and whatnot, hit us up on Twitter, on Instagram at Y'all Boys Talkin'. And
Yeah,
like
the Y'all Boys reminder system can work wonders for many people.
But yeah, Steve. Look, you've shown some progress here and there. I'm thinking that it's still moving forward. I know I'm happy that it hasn't stopped. Like I see Thanksgiving being a bit of a weird week. Once I get into my challenges, you know, we'll definitely talk about that part.
Oh boy.
But yeah, I just want to say, hey, yo, I feel great that you've figured that stuff out the previous week. But for this week, yeah, I will accept your 3Fs.
I would hope nothing more. Because like I legit.
Yeah, I feel like the only thing worse we could do is if you had like a bunch of badges and stars and stripes. If we just ripped them off.
Yeah, it's all in your coat.
Yeah.
You're like, fuck.
Yeah.
You call yourself a general?
Nope.
Yeah.
Yeah, I will say if anyone from the last rally or Team Steve rally, which is no one, if anyone new wants to show up and join this rally, I'd
call in for ralliers.
Yeah, this is the real rally. That one was just like you know, hey, where are the ralliers at? So y'all want to rally? Come through, please.
Yo, come through. Yo, Steve hitting it with the come through right now.
Yeah, for the rally.
Come through, comma, please.
Got it.
No, I like Steve. I did not for the Thanksgiving week. The Frank reminder system didn't fully kick in, but that should be powering up pretty soon again. So.
Oh yeah, no, it's all good. I don't know. It was one of those weeks where I was just like, hey man, if I'm on snooze and they're on snooze, we're on the same page.
Teamwork. All right. Speaking of teamwork, I'll actually go next.
Ooh.
All right. So I got 3 challenges. My personal challenge is to complete 4 music videos. My community challenge is to become a mentor for big brothers and big sisters. And my friend challenge is to cook twice a week with 1 new recipe every single week. Now, I don't want to say that I'm out here on snooze because hashtag Team Frank is rallying.
Yeah.
That being said, the previous week I talked about being a little overwhelmed with the other 2 projects that outside of my 4 main music videos, that I haven't worked on. And then finally I got a deadline for it and I got real freaking nervous about it. And I was just like, oh shit, what am I going to do? I have to push this around. I have only so many hours in a day in order to do it. But that was just a lot of anxiety talking. A week passed. I came back from my Thanksgiving escapades. Yeah, escapades.
Yeah.
And I looked at all the emails again. I'm like, you know what? I answered all the emails. I figured out a time to do that, and I felt a lot less anxious.
Hey.
That being said, I got an F for the week because I actually didn't touch any of the 4 music videos that I was supposed to be working on. So there's that.
Okay.
Moving on to the Big Brothers Big Sisters, my community goal. That book, The Body Keeps the Score, that I'm reading in lieu of waiting for my eventual interview for Big Brothers Big Sisters in January. I didn't read it. I didn't even learn a new thing. So since I've started, I think this will be my first F for this goal, as I just didn't on that. But for my friend goal to cook twice a week with one new recipe every week, I made a cake.
Have you made a cake before, Frank?
I have made a cake before. I've actually made this very same cake a year ago. It's an old recipe from my best friend's family that I've always enjoyed when I lived there, and I'm working on making it better myself. But I didn't make a new recipe with that. I actually went to a bunch of very nice restaurants and spent a lot of money on real dope shit. So, because I did cook at least one time this week, it might have been an old recipe, I'll give myself a D.
I agree.
You don't, Max. You don't want to push that up to a C.
I don't. You're right.
Yeah, I thought you were going to give yourself an F at first, and then I was going to bump you up to a D because I tasted that cake and it was
Courtesy
really good. But either way, I'm good with the D.
Yeah, I believe I said this a few weeks ago that if you cook once and it's a new thing, I think that's worthy of a C. But if you cook once and it's an old thing, I think that's a D.
Yeah.
Still a great cake, though.
Oh, yeah, the cake was amazing.
The cake
Frank.
is an A.
No one said anything bad about the cake.
Thanks, bros. So, but yeah, I appreciate that. Like, yeah, it was a kind of it was kind of a week, but the engine's revving up again. It was just all that little vacation stuff that definitely many roses, and I'll get to that in my Rosebud Thorn. But yeah, as far as my challenges go, it wasn't that great, but it's the journey, not the destination. And, we're all going to hit March 1st, 2020. We're all going to have these challenges done. And we're going to look back at episode 15 and be like, oh man, what's that crazy?
It's very aspirational, Frank. It's incredibly aspirational.
But I know that you, Max, you're going to bring us home, with the song of inspiration about your challenges.
Sure. So I got 3 challenges. My first challenge is to enter 3 rock climbing competitions. My next challenge, given to me by my friends, is to release a 5-track violin EP. And my community challenge is to help out the Tech Workers Coalition. So this week, I think I did all right. Well, actually, now that I heard everybody else, I think I did awesome. I think I did great, guys. I think I was exemplary, okay?
All right.
So my rock climbing gym has a few locations in LA, which is great. So I was trying to get an Airbnb close to there, but I couldn't. Suffice to say, I did not go to the LA one, but
what a roundabout story, right?
Yeah.
What the fuck?
I'm just letting you guys know a perk about my gym in case you're interested in joining. Touchstone gyms, LA and the Bay. But I did make it there twice when I got back. So,
oh wow,
yeah,
okay.
So I call that a B.
Yeah,
given that there was Thanksgiving, I had to do. Usually, I give myself a rest day in between, but just to make sure I hit my quota for the week, I went 2 days in a row.
Damn.
And yeah, not as much rest as I wanted. Couldn't really do everything I usually do, but hey, went to the gym, went there twice, got it in.
Yeah, that's a B. That's already the highest grade of this episode.
Yeah.
The live portion, when
Josh might have killed it. We don't even know.
Yeah, Josh I think got an A.
Yeah.
Yeah.
for my next goal, helping out the Tech Workers Coalition. As you can imagine, not a lot of events going on the week of Thanksgiving, but I did sign up for 2 events coming up this coming week. So last time I talked about the Google employees that had a rally and showed up there. It was great. Those workers have since been fired, and they're hosting a workshop on dealing with workplace retaliation, hosted by a lot of Google employees, and that is tomorrow, and I will be there to see how to notice the signs of workplace retaliation and combat that myself as an employee. So I hope to get a ton out of that. And there's another event, and I don't remember exactly what it's about, but it's next week as well. So I'll also be going. They're pretty much putting on a series of events that have been inspired by these workers that had been fired, and are kind of giving a lot of Google employees a toolkit they can use if they feel like they're not feeling that safe in the workplace because they've been participating in certain events. And I'm very happy that they're inviting all tech employees from whatever companies are in the area to go in, because a lot of these issues are happening at many of the companies around here. So I'm definitely going to be filling my schedule out with all of those events. And given that I didn't do too much this week, but it's because there wasn't a lot of activity, but I did line myself up for an awesome next week. I think I that's probably a C. I would give myself a C for that one. What do you guys think?
Steve?
I don't know, man. I mean, it's been a pretty difficult week, and being Thanksgiving, and I'd at least give you a B for at least, especially compared to what has previously done in like the weeks.
True.
Before, I think a B is a minimum.
Frank?
I agree.
Okay.
I agree. This has been quite the turnaround, starting with last week and then moving on to this week. That's what I call some grade B follow up. USDA grade B. Yo, like, have y'all ever gone to a restaurant with like a B like health score rating?
I don't think in the Bay they don't do it like that. I know in LA they kind of do it like that. In New York, I believe, too.
Because, like, they're supposed to display that shit.
Yeah.
Though I have gone to a B one. Like, it's...
Did you die?
The thing is, like, I didn't die.
Okay, good.
And the food is pretty good. But you always feel like, if it's not an A, you're just like, oh, shit, will I die?
Exactly.
Where's the roach? What part of my meal does it come?
Yeah, please tell me.
Nah, nigga, like, you go to any fucking Jack in the Box, I'm sure all of them would have an F. But the thing is, if you're there at 3 o'clock in the morning looking for 50 cents tacos,
you don't care.
You don't give a fuck.
That is not what you're concerned about.
The roach is a bonus.
but yeah, Max, B final challenge.
Okay, and last but not least, I have my friend goal to release a 5-track violin EP. I've loved the progress I've been making on this recently, so I got all my music printed. I've picked out the track list for my EP, which is a huge step. And this week, I did not practice the violin, but I did hunker down a significant part of the EP, which is there's going to be some interludes. There's going to be some written, spoken scenes in there. So what I did was I made a playlist of all the songs that I want to play and have on the EP, and just worked out what the interludes are going to be between the songs that introduce each song. So,
oh my god,
I think that's I loved how that made progress to the EP. So I have an outline, but I didn't really word it out word for word. It's definitely not a script. So I want to give myself a C for that one too.
So wait, you outlined the interlude dialogues.
Yes.
How many interludes are there? Are there 4?
Yeah, so there's 5. So there's pretty much each song has an intro that's like maybe 30 seconds tops of dialogue.
Oh, gotcha.
Yeah.
Are you gonna? Would you do an outro?
Maybe, but I haven't figured that part out yet. There's no plan for an outro currently.
Hmm.
Yeah, so I say a C for that one. But yeah, no violin involved. FYI. So I can understand why you guys have some misgivings there.
As a person who's listened to many Tribe albums, I like me a good interlude.
Yeah, and I remember late 90s and early 2000s skits, interludes, intro, outros.
Yeah. Oh hell yeah!
Those are on every album.
Yeah, I think it adds a lot of production value myself.
Yeah.
Oh,
So
sure.
I definitely see some appreciation for that too, even though I hated them as a kid.
Yeah, as a kid, I just wanted to skip them all. But then growing up,
Give
and
me
I
the
knew what they were
singles.
talking about, then it was hilarious. Yeah.
Yeah. So I mean,
So
I would say a D is okay.
Okay.
Because I mean,
Because it's mostly about the violin.
yeah,
yeah. Oh, the challenge. Yeah.
Yeah.
So I'll do an intro to my thing, and now here's it's a D. Yeah, it's a D.
Okay.
It's totally a D.
Got
it.
Yeah.
You got to get more on that violin. Like I like the idea of the intros. I'm sure it's gonna be real fun for the final product, but it's not an F because you actually put in some work towards it. But get to play it.
Got to do the real work.
I mean, I think you're doing something I fall myself doing a lot is just polishing something that isn't. You're polishing the packaging. You still need to make it
without
big first.
actually working on the product itself.
There's nothing in the box.
Yeah.
But the box looks amazing.
Oh my gosh, yes.
Oh yeah.
True. Yeah.
All right, so Max, I'm gonna need you to 3D print the album art next week. All
Make it a puzzle.
Steve, you got to get your feet moving.
Yeah.
Frank, you need to fucking look at your music videos every once in a while because you only have a couple more months 3 months to make 4 videos, so that's gonna be interesting.
And Josh.
and Josh. Oh
yeah,
man,
you got to
we
do
already
more
know.
of that stuff and then less of that other stuff.
Perfect.
Oh boy, this boy gets himself into some situations. But that wraps up this week's challenge checkup, week 15, officially the halfway point between this saga. I feel confident. There's some ups, there's some downs, but I feel confident that
I don't know why you feel confident, Frank. Only one of us needs to fail, and a whole lot of nothing happened this week in general.
I mean, yeah, but it was Thanksgiving, and look, when we get to Rosebud Thorn, it's gonna be all explained out. All right, so audience, y'all listeners, stick with us. We'll be right back.
After a long, hard workout, I love to drink water. Well, that was refreshing. Kobe!
Hey, you dropped something.
It's cool, bruh. It's not a big deal.
What?
From the people who brought you the Reusables Part 1 and the Notebook.
You think this is a game?
Dude, you're stretching out my collar.
Do you know how long it takes for plastic bottles to decompose?
I don't know. Get off me.
1,000 years!
20th Century Disney invites you
Okay. I'll throw it out.
to always
See? It's in the trash. You happy?
recycle.
Green is for organic materials only.
The Reusables Part 2. Reduce, reuse. Revenge.
And we are back for our final segment. Our rose, our bud, and our thorn. Cue sound.
Oh, I got my rose, I got my bud, I got my thorn. Here is the rose and thorn and the bud of the week. I got my rose and my thorn and my bud.
Rose, bud, thorn is us giving gratitude to the week. Rose is something awesome that happened in the past week. Thorn is something that was a little bit of in our side. And Bud is something we are looking forward to next week. So, Max, why don't you get us started? What's up?
I got a Thorn. I got a Rose. I got a Bud. And let's start off with my Rose. So as we alluded to earlier, we all had Thanksgiving in Los Angeles this year. It was a wonderful, wonderful time where we saw many, many people that we haven't seen in a while, and they were gracious enough to host us. And it was a wonderful time. I was in LA for 3 days, and man, basically, I remember at one point during Thanksgiving saying, guys, I'm pretty sure we had this exact same night when we were, I don't know, 16, 17, where we did like all of these exact same things. We ate food, we played video games, there was beer pong involved. Like, I'm sure we've done all these same activities in one night, maybe 10, 12 years ago. But there was something about it that was so amazing and so awesome. Nostalgic for sure. And it was just a great time. So definitely appreciated being in LA a ton. My Thorn, though, was driving to LA. So me, Steve, and our friend Alex drove to LA in the middle of one of the few like stormy nights that the Bay Area will ever get.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, it was. It never thunders here, but the rain was coming down pretty hard, which is like pretty much a cyclone in the Bay Area. Like, it'll drizzle or it'll do this like slightly hazy thing. Rarely will it rain, and certainly never does it come down hard. It was coming down hard on the Tuesday before Thanksgiving, and we had to drive that way. First of all, it took us 45 minutes to leave San Francisco. Number one. Yeah.
What?
And then it took us, usually it takes an hour to drive down to San Jose, maybe. It took us probably another 2 hours to get to San Jose. Overall, it took us about 9 hours to get to LA, which is typically like a 5-6 hour trip.
Jesus.
So, yeah. And then we were staying with Frank that first night. And yeah, our first ETA was like 12:30, and then 1 o'clock, and then 2 o'clock. Yeah. And then, yeah, we pretty much got there almost at 3. So that was not fun, slightly dangerous, but very exciting way to kick off a weekend in Los Angeles. My Bud is that on Sunday, I'm going to the Raiders game. And I've never been to a Raiders game before. I've actually never been to an NFL game before.
Oh, wow.
And I'm pretty much only going because it's the Raiders' last season in Oakland. And being in Oakland for as long as I had lived there and seeing like the ferocity of a Raiders fan.
The passion.
Yes. And like the passion despite your team losing almost
awful
all the
team.
Yeah. Is phenomenal. Right? Like, you want to talk about, it's pretty much the opposite Warriors fans, right? Which are just like bandwagoners. They're here when they're winning, and now that they suck, they're gone, right? Raiders fans do not care. They're about the business. They're about the tailgate. They have a section called the Black Hole where people just wear all sorts of different costumes and face paint and say all sorts of ridiculous stuff. And I want to be a part of that, if only once, before the Raiders depart Oakland for Las Vegas. Yeah. So on Sunday, I'm going to be a part of that, and hey, we'll see what that's about. So that was my Thorn Rosebud.
Beautiful. I was actually in Vegas recently, and I saw them building the stadium, and I was just like, ooh, they about to get some football up in this piece. But before we get up to that bad boy, Steve, what you got?
Oh, man. Did I have a similar week to Max? And probably Frank, because we were all in the same place.
We were all in the same place.
But I'll start with my Thorn, which is somewhat of the opposite of Max's Thorn, which is driving from LA to San Francisco, because that was also horrible.
Oh, damn.
Surprise.
And you had to go through both.
Yeah. And I was advised by coworkers who were telling me that I was crazy for driving from LA to SF on Sunday night.
No!
On Thanksgiving weekend, where I thought, they're crazy. What's another hour or two?
What do these Bay Area natives know about driving?
Yeah, it won't be that bad. Mm-hmm. Suffice to say, we left from LAX, because I was dropping off Celeste to go back to Utah that Sunday. We dropped her off at 4 p.m. We didn't get out of proper LA until about 8:30.
What?
Okay,
Yep.
well,
Damn.
yeah, it was just nonstop
Yeah.
bumper to bumper traffic.
Yeah.
And we got out to maybe like a little bit south of Bakersfield by like 8:30.
Oh God.
And then there was just one accident and then another accident. And then by the time you get there, like on the maps, it's like, where's the accident? Like, there's no crazy fire, or there's no, like, I mean, thankfully it didn't seem like anything tragic, but like it's just kind of just like there's nothing happened.
Yeah.
Just people driving slow, and no, it was awful. And yeah,
Just congestion. Yeah.
yeah. Luckily, I had Alex and another friend, Ruben, to help with the drive, and we also got to stop by Popeyes. And we got to try the chicken sandwich, and it was thumbs up. Though I wouldn't say I would fight anyone over it, but I would definitely say it's better than Chick-fil-A's.
Are you sure it was a chicken sandwich from Popeyes then? If it
Yeah,
didn't,
if you're not
want
willing to
commit
fight
acts of
somebody.
violence?
I couldn't believe it myself, because they were openly giving it out in the sense that there was no line.
And there was no line. Like,
yeah, no, it wasn't. There was no absurdities.
no, that wasn't a Popeyes.
Yeah, that's
That
not
was-
Popeyes then.
I think it was. I think it
went.
was an illusion.
Yeah, you got
from
punched in the face
traffic.
0 times while you were ordering it.
Yeah.
I don't think that was legitimate.
No, right. So suffice to say that 5.5 hour drive took about 10 hours, maybe
Oh,
more, because we got to the city around like 2:30 in the morning.
Oh my God.
Fuck.
And I had to return the car the very next day at 8 a.m. So I got about like a 4-hour nap as my sleep.
Oh, that's so trash.
Yeah.
That's,
So that's
you
definitely
got
Thorn.
you got the worst coming in and coming out. God damn.
Yeah.
Yeah. And Frank, you had a terrible entrance too, but this one might have beat that. I don't know.
Yeah. I'll get to mine in
Yeah.
mind. But yeah, Steve, keep going.
But on the upside, all that was 100% worth the rose, which is seeing my friends all together, coming from different parts of the country and even different countries. One came from Canada, another in Italy. And of course, having Celeste meet everyone, because it's like she's pretty much met about like 90% of the people that I consider close or just like important to me. And it's like little by little, it's all coming together. And it was just a great time. We played Mario Kart, we played Smash, and there's lots of macaroni cheese. Frank's cake was amazing.
Yeah.
There's just a lot of all around
camaraderie
goodness in that week of
Nice.
Friendship and giving thanks and traffic and rain, all good things.
Especially the rain.
Yeah. And now my bud is tomorrow. I'm going to Utah once more, but this time with one of my very special friends and pretty much my adopted son, Elle, or should I say his full name, Prince Ellington Helmsworth the Fourth, which I think there's some parts I'm forgetting, but he's a super anxious cat. And I've already brought his adopted sister, Apple. She's in Utah with Celeste right now, and she seems to be enjoying it, but they've been kind of split apart for the past 2-3 weeks, and Apple hasn't been taking it as well. Elle is kind of indifferent, I think, but it's his first time traveling this far, and I'm gonna need to give him a nice little like sleeper pill
Cat
kind of
Vicodin.
thing. Yeah, so you got
Cat Vicodin. If the fucking bottle said Cat Vicodin on it.
Well, no. So Apple, I had to give her a pill that they described it as like cat Xanax. And then that seemed like a weaker form of what I was prescribed L, which it might as well be Vicodin. I don't know what it is, but yeah, he's a big boy. He gets anxious, and
Big boy.
yeah, I'm excited to reunite them, to have everyone together in Utah. We'll have our little Christmas tree and just have like a little our own small family Christmas in Utah. yeah, I'm just looking forward to seeing them together again.
That shit's beautiful. That shit's absolutely wonderful. You're building this fucking nice, especially now it's snowing like crazy up. Is it snowing crazy out there in Utah?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So you have like this little winter wonderland going on over there.
Max is gonna make a cameo too, thanks to a 11-hour layover in Salt Lake City when I'm on my way to Miami.
Max will be visiting our love nest, our little apartment. We'll have a tree and a TV and everything but an extra bed. But we do have a couch, and it is very cozy.
Okay.
Beautiful.
So you'll be...
Or we could all get matching PJs.
Yeah.
All the cats, too?
Yeah.
No, Apple, I bought her like this little sweater, and it's super, super cute. And I didn't think about getting L one yet because he hates it when I put on stuff for him. So I might just try to squeeze on the Apple one and see how he feels about it.
He's gonna love that.
Yeah, but suffice to say, it's really cute.
All right, that's dope, Steve, and I'm really excited for your winter wonderland. For myself, I would also like to talk about a winter wonderland with my Thorn. Now, my girlfriend Kat, she flew out on Wednesday, and that's definitely part of my rose, and I'm super excited to see her. But one of the plans that we had was we were going to go hiking on Thanksgiving Day. We're not really big into crowds, we're not really big into shopping, so we would avoid Black Friday and we'd avoid all that stuff with these plans that we came up with, to like go into the middle of nowhere and then take a big drive to Vegas and all that kind of stuff. But the weather said, haha, fuck you. Because we had our first big storm of like, I feel like the past 10 months. Like, it hasn't rained. We had multiple fires out here in Los Angeles because haven't had precipitation in a very long time. And then all of a sudden, Thanksgiving Day, it decides to rain like a motherfucker. Rain like a motherfucker. And I had to pick Kat up from the airport in LA, at LAX, in the rain, and each of those variables like make the drive that much worse. So that all sucked. Obviously worth it to pick up Kat. But my real Thorn is the next day. We were supposed to go hiking, which didn't happen. We ended up going to Palmdale, which, if you don't know, is about an hour north of LA, and a place I used to live for a couple of years. And it was snowing.
Isn't that beautiful?
Well, Kat was a little excited because she had never seen snow. She's born in Miami, lived in Miami. She's never seen snow before in person. She's been to cold places, but she's never actually seen it like snow. And so this is the first time introducing her. It was not my intention. The climate's changing, so it's just now snowing in northern LA, and not just snowing, but snowing hard, like snowing with like all the fucking snow on the road. And because it's Palmdale, no one is prepared for this shit. So I'm in my car, scared as shit, just like sliding every couple of feet. It's like, and I'm just like, all right, and we're driving, all that. So, I was hoping Kat was having a good time, but she also was very ill prepared for the snow because, snow is cold. And all that happening at once, we stayed there for like about 3 hours, and then we got the fuck out of there because, driving in the snow in a place that's not prepared for snow, I would say top 5 scariest moments of the year for me.
Yeah,
so.
Black ice is no joke.
Oh, yeah. You and Celeste were telling us about it. Mm-hmm. It's just like...
Yeah, it's a phenomenon where I think the order of events that has to happen, it has to be cold, and then it rains for a bit, and then it gets cold again. So that rain freezes before it like precipitates. And yeah, you pretty much have solid ice on asphalt, which you can barely see. So as you're driving, you effectively have way less friction or traction, and
just on
you're way more
skates.
susceptible to sliding around.
Yeah.
Terrifying.
Fuck that shit. But thankfully, that's like the only real thorn of those past 5 days, because the rose is spending all the time with Kat. It was absolutely amazing. It was everything that I could have hoped for. Like, I can pick one of many various like roses from that, but if I had to pick one, on our drive back from Vegas, because we went to Vegas, we saw a Cirque du Soleil show called Cirque du Soleil Mystery. It was dope. A homeboy, I don't know, this person climbed up a pole, fucking dropped off, and then grabbed the pole with their abdomen. There's my There's my life before I saw a person grab their whole body with their abdomen, and then there's my life afterwards. Holy shit, that thing was incredible. But the moment that would be my rose is on the drive back. Kat mentioned that she wanted ice cream, and I was like, yeah, if there's an ice cream up, we'll go. We see this giant inflatable ice cream cone, and we're just like, boom, perfect. So we stop off. It's this place called Eddie World, in buttfuck California. We stop there. We go inside. We see where there's the ice cream, but then we notice that there's also like about 15 rows of every candy you could ever imagine. So we spent like a good 25 minutes just going down the rows, trying to figure out what the best candy in the world is, because we had to decide on what candy was the best one. So we had like these big like philosophical arguments of what candy is preferable than the other ones and which one you prefer on that. And we did that for 25 minutes, and I loved it. We ended up picking s'mores. S'mores was the winner. But it was a really awesome moment. And yeah, shout out to Eddie World in the middle of California. Aww. And lastly, my bud is, I've been talking about getting a new bed for a very long time. And then about a year and a half ago, one of my coworkers started espousing the miracles of the purple mattress, because he had gotten one and he couldn't not stop talking about how amazing it was. The way he spoke about it really just caught my ear, because I'd been looking to replace my bed for a really long time, but it's expensive as fuck. So I spent a long time saving up money, and as of 2 days ago, or yesterday, of yesterday, I have purchased the mattress, and it is coming in the mail. So
that's pretty great.
I'm so fucking excited to get it. It's gonna be, I feel it's going to be life-changing. So I will be documenting me receiving it, removing my old bed, putting it together, because I don't have the fancy service. I got it delivered to my office, so this is gonna be a series of hijinks that are going to ensue from me getting this bed. So I'll document all of it. Check it out at FrankAPM, and I'll be keeping y'all up to date on all that good shit.
Frank, I have to let you know, I've been personally upset when people don't let me watch their boxed mattress unfurl from the packaging. And I will be personally upset if you do not allow me to witness your mattress coming out of the box.
Hey, that's what I'm here for, man. I'm doing people a service.
Okay, thank you.
Yeah, and I'm sorry, Max. I robbed you of that experience a year ago when I bought my box spring or whatever kind of mattress you want to call it.
I'll never have that back.
It is satisfying, but yeah,
you gotta sleep. I get it, but some of us want to see large things come out of small boxes.
Yeah.
And speaking of large things coming out of small boxes, that is the end of our show, because that's also a transition. Right?
Only technically.
Yeah.
Only technically a transition.
Yeah.
But yeah, thank you all for joining us this week. Been some ups and downs. I hope y'all's Thanksgiving, which might have been 3 weeks ago at this point, or later if you're listening to us in 2021. Hopefully things are great over there. We love you dearly. Hit us up on all the socials. Shout out to Sakura for being dope. Josh, we hope to see you next week. And to all y'all listeners, deuces, and have a safe and productive week.
We have a couple shout outs we want to give. Shout out to Adian Lewis for our interstitial music, to Geno Music for our wonderful theme song called Won't Stop. To learn more about our challenges, go to y'allboystalkin.com or follow us on Instagram and Twitter and Facebook at y'allboystalkin. New episodes every single Wednesday.